Okay, welcome to the Storied Human. I wanted to mention something about what motivates you in your life because I think it's important to understand that, and I never did until recently. The thing that motivates me now is doing good things for myself, having fun with my family. And lately, the thing that really gets me going is helping others. And the way that I do that, I mean, we all do that in some way. There are some basic good ways, like donating money to causes you believe in and, giving food to food pantries. And those things are all great. But lately, I've added another thing, and it's related to the Storied Human and why I started it. I've been feeling as I get older that there are so many things that I learned as I went along in my life on my journey. And I thought, what is the point? Literally, what is the point of learning these things if I don't pass them on? Like so many times too, people have passed on things they've learned to me, and it's been so helpful. So that's what motivates me to do the podcast and to move forward and to interview people who can help us. Because we're all in this together, and I can't imagine anymore learning things or going through things without sharing it. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. So for me, this is what gets me up in the morning and gets me excited, is the chance to connect with people and share and learn and maybe grow together. So there's like two things happening in my mind. One is we're enjoying stories and hearing people's tales of struggle and success. Those are way cool. But we're also learning from them. So there's those two things going on. And maybe helping. So that's why I call this podcast Education and Self-Help. You have to choose categories when you create it. And that's what I think of it as. Like we're all learning together and maybe improving ourselves, but maybe working on our inner stories too, which is like a whole other thing that I like to talk about. And we'll get to that too. But today I'm thinking a lot about how I just got to this place where I didn't want to waste what I learned. Like, I think that that's a common thing that a lot of older people feel is we have experience to share. But really anyone does. Young people do, we're all like in this life together and people go through all kinds of experiences. Some younger people have gone through things I can't imagine. So I learn from them, like it's not an older person thing. I'm just saying for me, I've noticed I've accumulated a bunch of sort of rules of thumb or things to live by that come from my own experience. But anyone can teach you. And I think that connecting in that way is so special and helpful and can speed us along in our journey. They have those little memes, life hacks. Well, I feel like when people share information, it's like a life hack. It really does help you live better. And even if it's something small, like I was remembering when I worked at a company that made like colonoscopy machines, I happened to need a colonoscopy at the same time. And everyone who worked there had all these great tips for how to get through it more easily. And it was so helpful. And I was so grateful. And I was just like, I got to share these tips with anybody who's going to do a colonoscopy. Like, I just feel like if you don't share, then somebody's got to go like figure it out, from zero. Now, the internet has helped a lot with this. Like you can do research and find out tips for yourself. But I still think there's nothing like talking to someone who's actually been through it. It's a little different. And I research all the time on the internet and I rely on it and I love it. But I also really like hearing from the person, live. I like talking to someone, asking questions and hearing what they have to say and sort of savoring that real life advice. So that's a big part of why I'm doing this. It's what motivates me. It gets me up in the morning. I get excited about it. I feel like every day we learn something new from other people, and maybe we can accelerate that a little bit here. So this is just a tiny, quick episode telling you what was on my mind. And I'd love to hear from you in the Storied Human Facebook group. Share anything that you have to add to this, anything that you're thinking. reach out to me on Instagram. You can DM me at lthompson574 and just start letting me know, like if you have a story to share, if you have a thought. I would love to hear from you. I love stories and I love to hear your stories. Thanks so much. And if you by any chance have a story that you'd like me to interview you about, that would be super great too. So have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.